Hey everybody, good afternoon. Rob, Wade, Dunn, Arturo, Zub. Glad to have everybody. And welcome to the afternoon action webinar. We haven't done one of these. I haven't done one on YouTube ever, I don't think. I've done one as part of Echo Trades and a few other things, but this will be the first time here. I have up the S&P 500 5-second chart. Yeah, that's fast. Big moves in the 5-second chart here. And funny enough, they're just all the same moves over and over. Doesn't matter the time frame. Hey, Kevin, glad to have you. And we're going to stay live at least through the first 2 p.m. FOMC rate change announcement. I'll have to, I do have some other stuff I need to do, so I may not stay live for the 2:30 thing, the 2:30 Jerome Powell speech. But hey, Sandy, glad to have you. I just wanted to pop on here and talk about what's moving today. Talk about it. So popping over here onto the stock heat map and load. There we go. And pop onto, let's check out what's moving today. What's moving today? And let's just cut out all the middle. Right here, hide the list. There we go. Looks like we've got biggest movers today. NVIDIA down, AVGO down, AMD down. Well, we could just turn off the greens, and there's the downs right there. And then what's moving up? Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, ADP, D&D, DuPont, AEP, Humana, Garmin, Warner Brothers, Disney. Looks like the biggest winner today, percent-wise, coming in right here. Biotech Corp. Sounds like a biotech to me, since the name is biotech. Anyway, there we go. That's you wonder how we get there. It's under products. This is under heat maps and stocks. You just click on that and you can get to this right here. And I'm just changing. Usually I'm looking at year-to-date performance, because these are the, I mean, this is the stuff that's basically moving up this year so far. And here's the stuff not so moving up this year so far. And I just went to the daily, what's happening today. We can even look at what's been moving in the last, say, 4 hours. And not a lot, really, is what we get to. Not a lot moving here today. Got Estee Lauder up 3% in the last 4 hours, but nothing really down. Not even on the 2%, 1% down. A few things giving back a little bit coming into this FOMC meeting. Coming up here. Hey, JV, George, Keith, Rongamer, glad to see you as always. Craig, Gary, Kenneth. Looks like we're going to have some interesting market action. Now, coming into this, let's briefly touch on the analysis here that I was not able to give you this morning due to jury duty. Got dismissed due to 2 open pending litigations that I have, both having to do with theft, and the case I was called into was dealing with theft. So they were like, well, we'll just go ahead and dismiss you. So there we go. And the judge told me to let them know if I come back in next week for another case that I have open pending litigations. And one of them in the jurisdiction that for the court that we were in. So one of them's not. Even though the crime was committed in the jurisdiction, the person was caught in a different jurisdiction, so that's where it's being prosecuted. And so this is what we had. We came down. We did a 3-wave move off the low here. So this move right here, this move kind of echoed right there. That's a 3-wave move, all right? There's no way to mince words about it. That right there, that's a 1, that's a 2, and that's a 3. That's a ABC corrective type price action, a deep retrace, holding the 618 of that move. So this is potentially an A wave. This is potentially a B wave. And we would expect a C wave reaction out of this thing. This thing has a very skewed kind of, it's like a C wave of a B wave of a blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the reaction I would expect based on this so far and this retrace and holding that 618 level is this move right here, holding this 5150 to 5200 area. And that's what I've been kind of drawing as the resistance level all week. Starting on Monday, I drew that. Tuesday, I drew it. 30 minutes of awesome. I was like, well, I did the other thing. Kind of talked to Rongamer Monday night at the scout meeting that we may see this happen ahead of FOMC, which gives us the likelihood we would see this out of FOMC. And that's kind of where we're sitting right now, is a potential pop. Now, what we're going to see is volatility. And if we see a move down through 49.60, which is all the way down here, all the way near the bottom, back here, near this guy, we see that move, that sustained move below 49.60. Looks like we're probably going to go down to the daily roadmap line sooner rather than later. And we have to jump back up to the daily to see it's down here, hanging out right around this 4,800 zone right in here. All right. So if we break down below that 49.60 area, right around here, and we get some kind of sustained price action, we're not talking about sustained on like a 1 minute chart or anything like that. We're talking about sustained, like we get, a couple hourly closes below that, not just a spike down and rip back higher. That can lead us down to here, if not develop into something more sinister and more negative for the rest of the year. All right, I've been talking about the fact that we may break down below this, come back, retest the roadmap from below, and if we held that, that would be the point, and then we start breaking down again. That's the point where it's time to be very concerned about the rest of the year, because we can return to the lows that we had from 2022 back here, and maybe go hit the extension that we didn't go visit back here. So this is a very much an important time to hold support and go higher. Otherwise, this could develop into a much major correction that's going to take a long time. A major correction. So, very concerned. Very concerned. And the boss is on a trip right now. She was in the studio on Monday, and she went on a trip today. And somebody, one of you, called her out in the airport and called her the boss, and said you were a big fan. So I thank you you made her day. I think it's funny. It happened to her before it happened to me. Nobody's ever called me out in an airport. One of these days, I'm sure somebody will see me. But so whoever was passing by, I think it was Houston Airport, called her out and said hey. So that was kind of cool. She was telling me about it. Anyway, alrighty. So Estee Lauder been moving up. Let's see what that. Big spike down on earnings looks like. And yes. See, what do we got coming up today for earnings? Got about 8 minutes for the. So we had Estee Lauder this morning, Ketchup, Wingstop, Pfizer. All those were kind of big movers today so far. So CVS, put the mouse back on the right thing. CVS, ouch. I know Starbucks got murderized last night and still pushing lower today. PFE was this morning. Nice pop, but still stuck in between the resistance and the support. MasterCard. Oh, finally, back to the roadmap line. Beautiful. Yeah, I told my newsletter writer, DA, I told him that a couple weeks ago that MasterCard was due for a retrace back to the roadmap line. And there it is. There it is. Let's see, Wingstop. Yeah, just keeps rocking. That's pretty rocking there. Must be good to, good time in that business right there. And next resistance around 423. I do expect that to retrace to the roadmap line at some point here. It's not even giving it up right now in the weakness in the market. That's pretty strong. Kraft Heinz KHC. Right back to the roadmap line. Presents another opportunity. Right there. Let's see, how did Amazon fare today? Just stuck at the 618 resistance. If that can break above that, 196 on the upside. Be cautious. I don't like the fact it's not pushing higher so far. Could do some crazy stuff on after we get the FOMC here. Marriott, right back to the roadmap line. Potentially set up a new trade here. Really need it. I'd really like to see it push just a wee little bit lower there. But that could be strong for Marriott turning higher if it does. And gold. GLD Barrick Mining. They did. And just a little retrace. See how NEM reacted. Not really phased by that. Nice. All right, what else we got coming up? QCOM coming up. QCOM coming up after the close. And it looks like it wants to retrace. It's like a held at 618 already. Looks like. Yep. Next move down. Be careful on that one if you're in it. DVN. Pretty clearly looks like it's coming back for that support. Paycom. Get my fingers to work the right way. Stuck under the roadmap line. That's a bearish bias, but that could be done. It kind of did the head, almost did the head and shoulders halfway there, and then wrap back up. Could break down further, but yeah, it's still a downward bias underneath the roadmap line. Let's see, CVNA. I can't. Our left hand moving faster than my right hand. Yeah, that could retrace to the roadmap line. Let's see, Fastly, FSLY. Ooh, that looks pretty gnarly. Wouldn't take much to get a lower low there. Let's see. That was the lowest low. That's the highest high. It could hold there and go higher. Huh? If we go higher from here, like this area, 40 to 60, not bad. ETS1, 3 minutes left. And just messing around underneath the roadmap line. Probably, hate to say it, but that's probably due a lower low. That looks like it needs it. Needs to just flush out all this crap it's been doing for the last 6 months. And ALB probably looks like it's going to get murderized. And then the morning NVO. And more sideways. I should be, I won't know till the jury coordinator sends out the email, but the judge indicated I won't be called back in this week. So I should be live in the morning and Friday morning. Yeah, it looks like that one's coming back to the roadmap line. Piton. That looks pretty crap. I don't know if they're going to survive. They may get Moderna, mRNA. Can't remember that for some reason. That is stuck. Look at that resistance right there. That is solid resistance. If it can break above that, pop up here. If it doesn't, whoa, baby. And CTS. That looks pretty bad. And it still looks pretty bad. And then tomorrow afternoon, we have Apple, which looks like it needs to finish up whatever correction it's doing. And then Coinbase, which looks like it needs to finish up that correction. BitX made it back to the roadmap line. Bitcoin also made it back basically to the roadmap line. Beautiful. Like to see these both hold, and let's get going. So flipping back over to my indicator on there. Looks like we're about to have some fireworks. And just in case the 5-second chart's too crazy, we have ES up over here that can pull over. That's the S&P 500. Futures. Futures are usually fun to watch. This is on Thinkorswim right there. So, all right. Place your bets in the chat. Let me know. What do you think? Up or down? Up or down? Where are we going? I say 5150 is upside resistance. And we're about to get it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there's the jury notice right there. No panels the remainder of the week. Oh, there we go. Launching off. And we're off. Dun, 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 dun. This is a 5-second chart, so each of these candles is 5 seconds. Let's see. New position on DocU. I'm not taking that right this moment. Certainly not in the middle of FOMC. And I'm betting we rallied at 51.50. Here we go. Here we go. Are we going to do it? Here we go. Up, up, and away. Yeah, I didn't expect them to change jack squat. In fact, I expect higher for longer is going to be the narrative that Jerome Powell says at 2:30. So far, this isn't nearly as big as I kind of expected it to be. I think we're going right up to 51.50 though. Yeah, nice gap. And what the futures are doing. Yeah, futures are pretty muted, actually. Not really cooking. They're just hanging at 50.52. Hey, Sergio. Yeah, I mean, we can see what happens when he starts speaking. I think the Wall Street Journal came out Monday and said the narrative is going to be higher for longer. And they just did the largest reverse repo they've had in a while. So there was the first move. That was 3 waves up. Now we got kind of a 3-wave back, right back down even. This is a 5-second chart I have up here right now. Fast mover. This stuff even works on the super small time frames. You can see the waves in here. Not that we have the ability to react that fast, but hey, price action does the same patterns all time frames. All time frames. I usually watch what's called a tick chart. So that's every so many trades, it fires off a candle. I think the 233 tick chart is the one I like. Like the fib number 1 higher than the 144, I think. $144 plus 89, 233. And so far this is muted. Not a lot happening. It's 3-wave up. Well, it could be. It's hard. So like the problem with the smaller time frames, while they are self-similar, sometimes the gappiness, like the lack of trades, creates a difficulty in telling exactly what's cooking. When we look at the 1 minute, it's just bars up and down, just big volatility right there. Up, down, up, down. Not really taking off. That did break through the 1 minute roadmap line. 5 minute is way on up here at 50.50. Now, what we could see with this little junk right here, it's kind of like a bear flag, I guess you might say. The pole right there, the consolidation, and this kind of thing right here. This little move could be a fake out, and then we go and do the pole again, which could lead us down to 49.85. We could see a spike down there before, while Jerome Powell's talking. So, all right. So he hadn't even started talking. He'll start talking about 25 minutes. So I am gonna have to. Probably I won't be able to stay for the whole time. I'll probably stay through maybe through the beginning of his talk, but I am going to have to go do something else because I need to go get something else done before the potential gold trade fires off today. So for the gold rush traders, Looks like we're filling that gap right back to that gap down overnight. Oh, we might. Are we gonna break out? Are we gonna break out and run? Break out and run. Break out and run. Bounce off the roadmap line. Go. And reject it off the gap fill overnight. Or 30-second chart. Man, that's some choppy action right there. So this looks like 3 waves up off the lows here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Held right on the 100%. Look at that. From 120 right up there. There's a 30-second chart right there. So just the last half hour or so, that was a corrective type move. So far, this really needs to get up here to 50.43 to kind of clear this up a little bit. Do a retrace, hold kind of this area right here where it is, and then go higher again if we're going to actually make some constructive progress toward that 5150 area on the upside. Although this looks very corrective right now, if we don't break higher than this right there, probably going down here for now. Not necessarily like lower low, just that 49.85 thing I was talking about. We just filled the gap, the overnight gap down. Can we break through it? That's the big question. It's interesting, right? Like, although this isn't all that fast compared to when things really get cooking. Like, this is not all that spicy right now. The futures are just pretty muted. Not even doing much at all. Yeah, boring. Well, sorry the FOMC wasn't more exciting than this so far. I mean, I guess in some respects it's kind of good. We don't have like this major giant dropout and we're like, oh my gosh. But we tend to get bigger reactions than this, that's for sure. So far, nothing burger. Oh, that's lagging. I guess I logged in the simulated daily data. Yeah, awesome. Let me see. I logged in the wrong account. Just saw that. Let's see. Let me try to get back to the actual paid account. It'll let me. I have to reload it. Just now noticed that was the delayed account instead of my haste to get on here. Let me pop that up and click on the paid account that has live data. Or funded account, I should say. And live trading. Password. Joe Schmo 69 420 365. Let's see. I think that was the password. 1-800 password. There we go. Oh, all right. There we go. Now we're not delayed. Real-time data. Still not very interesting. Looks a lot like the S&P chart that I had up here. And I can't even grab this thing and pull it off. There we go. Yeah, they look a lot the same. Not much happening. Well, that's a bummer. All that effort. Try to get a live stream going. All right, what are we talking about? We were talking about what's earnings for tomorrow. Just finish that conversation real quick. Flip back over. Square tomorrow after the close. Ooh, that got below the roadmap line. That can go on down. That was not a constructive 5-wave up. And so we have support down to the bottom of that consolidation there. If we don't bounce and go higher, then Probably going lower. Alrighty. And DKNG. Roadmap line. There we go. It's close now. Like to see that actually hit. All right, Cloudflare. It basically hit once. May go a little deeper into the roadmap line there. The high there, the low there in the roadmap line. So if we break above this consolidation here, could be game on for 127 on netbill.com. That looks bad. FTNT. Looks like it may get the deeper retrace. And BKNG. Booking.com. Booking. Yeah. Looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. Which, funny enough, it made this low, then messed around, came back to it, messed around, came back to it, and now just one little nominal lower low spikes it into the roadmap line. So, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So, that means that high down to potentially, let's just go with a roadmap touch. Then that high was at the 618. Yeah, that 618 didn't exist in that spot when we did that. It was close, but not exactly. It's kind of funny. And then if we spike off above that, 4087 on the upside there. And then EXPE, Expedia. That looks like testing the roadmap line pretty hard there. We get below it, can go somewhat deeper. Left a couple gaps, one right there, and then one right there. So this will be where all these highs are before. That'll probably be, we may come back and test that before we can go higher again on EXPE. All right. Anybody see any that we should talk about? Oh, COP. I skipped that one. COP tomorrow morning. That looks like it wants to come back to the roadmap line. Oil got murderized today, it looks like. Right down to the daily. Let's see, L1, exclamation point. Look at that, look at that. Exactly what I said yesterday. Might be in store. Sometimes I get lucky. Now, next support right down here, where all these bottoms were. Right there. So that's not far away either. That's three more bucks down, 2 more bucks down at this point. Didn't break out. That high, that low, that high. Yeah, there's a couple levels of support on oil. One right there. And one right here. Gold. Nice. Potential reversal cooking here. I like it. Did I miss my entry on GLD? No, we didn't touch 210. That could have been it right there. We often bounce at the 1272. Oftentimes. That was also right at the 50% there. Nice. Nice. GLD. Come back over here. Look at an hourly chart. It's not super strong so far. There may not be a weekly gold trade today, just because we're back testing from below. Stay tuned for that. 3:30 is the action time. And we're not done with the FOMC yet. But this so far is one of the most lackluster reactions I've seen for a while. A good long while. All right. Any questions, anybody? S-Bucks broke support. That's the problem on Starbucks. Thoughts on support. It broke support. That's game on for going down here. 61. That's funny. My 5-minute gold trade just fired off. Target is 23.25. Oh, 23.24. Same pattern, roadmap pattern, bounce, break above the 618. You may be like, JT, why do you pay attention to this? I don't talk about this usually on the live streams, this trade. I talk about it in Termite Trading Labs a little bit. Look at this. Look at this thing, how often this thing wins. 77%, 2.19 on the profit factor. It's pretty dang strong. Pretty dang strong. Apple tomorrow looks like it's going down. That didn't change from last night. That analysis I did last night during the 30 minutes of awesome. So FNV, and there's not much crack-a-lack in here. This looks like volatile crap. Nah, not enough price action to tell anything. I mean, stuck on the roadmap line right in the middle of the consolidation, or right at the lower end of the consolidation. Not great. Not great. One of the disqualifying questions they kept asking was if anybody knew about the prices of copper. I was just sitting there and laughing. And a couple of people looked at me. I was just laughing at myself. I mean, come on. I keep up with copper every week. Like, I can tell you, like, they were asking about copper in 2022. I was like, oh, yeah. Copper was down in 22. Right? I mean, we kind of peaked out early and coming into 22, but then we dropped in 22, kind of made a bottom, and then we were recovering. I never got to tell them all about copper prices, but, you know, if they had asked me, I would have known more than they cared to know. And several people are like, well, I hear it's high. High is relative, not high as it's been. It is elevated, but it may turn down here. The case out they were wanting me to, or the case they were looking for jurors on was a copper theft case. So I guess for those of you that are newer here and don't remember, I had a theft occur at my house 2 Decembers back, and that's still ongoing. That litigation still has not seen its day in court, as far as I know. So I went to testify, I guess it was, back in October? I think it was October. And still been, or maybe it's further back than that. I don't know. It's been a while since I went and testified, and they sent it to a grand jury. And I guess it's still ongoing because I got a letter a few weeks ago and still ongoing. Still keeps going. And they were saying that they were hearing cases that were 12 to 18 months at the criminal court I was at today. So, and copper. Gold may break out and take copper with it. That's a lot of lines I got drawn on gold. None of these down here matter anymore. And clear that off. Have anything down here? Nope. It's none of these levels matter anymore either. All right, that's kind of boring for the FOMC. If I said anything that was helpful or useful or anything you like, give me a thumbs up on the video. I'm not sure Jerome Powell's going to do anything spicy. So, I guess thanks for coming, everybody. I think the higher for longer narrative is going to possibly come into play. I don't know what the reaction is going to be. So far, I don't know. That's not overly bullish in this small 60 or 30-second time frame here. Even the 60-second time frame, the 1 minute, still not very spicy. Potentially breaking out of that consolidation. Could get some continuation higher. Resistance is way up here. Way up here. The 5150 area. Way up here above that. And it's kind of what we got cooking right now. It's a 30-minute chart. That high. Right. Magnet. Turn off that magnet. That high right there. That low right there. This puts the resistance right here. Support is down at 49.60. Basically prior low. We get any kind of sustained move below that. Probably going on down. So anything in between is just choppy sideways stuff, which is kind of what we got so far. No big nothing. Alrighty. Have a great day, everybody. I'll, like I said, I got a couple things I got to do here and this afternoon. I will be back live tomorrow morning for another Morning Monster and live Friday because they just got the text a minute ago there, right as the FOMC came out, that I do not have jury duty tomorrow or Friday. So same bad time, same bad channel. I'll be back. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you in the morning. Bye for now.